They don't think you could do it, but tell you to try when they talk. All I hope had to keep it alive. Spend a day in the Bronx, but you wouldn't survive. Can be low when I pop out, they know I've arrived. I go have conversations with Zoe, he gon' tell me pull up and come say what you know.
All right, peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Zoe. We are here today. Make sure you like, share, comment.
Shout out to Zoe. We
Appreciate
just was having a conversation, got these niggas in here thinking, man.
Right.
Brain games, riddles.
Right. From the GOAT himself, BARSisBack.
You know, when niggas adults, man, they don't go to school no more, niggas don't be thinking.
Right, that's a fact, man. So welcome to Conversation with Zoe, my guy.
Thank you for having me,
Great to
bro.
meet you. You know what I mean? Shout out to our sponsors at Natural Born Brand. Shout out to my guy, Dave. We insist, born since greatness. We got a gift for you today. This
Appreciate it.
Top and bottom sweatsuit right here.
Oh, that's
Natural
hard.
Born. You know what I'm saying? Your size, you know, shout out to the camp who put me on.
Oh, that's hard.
You know what I'm saying? So we getting it going.
That's hard. I'm a Rocky.
I'm saying, so you see that when you were with Esso and Heineken
Black
at
owned.
A.B.A.R.S Clips? Absolutely, black owned. You know what I'm saying? He started it himself, no loans, no nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Natural. That's
Absolutely.
hard. Fuck with it. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, what does...
What's the owner name?
Right here, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Meet him afterwards.
Salute, man.
Natural
Born Dave, man.
Absolutely.
Salute the Natural
Meet him
Born
afterwards.
Dave. Shit is fire. Got Dave over there thinking too, man, playing brain games, man. You know how we rock.
Absolutely. You did get it right. All right, so what does Philly mean to you?
Where I was born, man. My birthplace, my foundation, where I learned a lot, where I grew, where I became a man at. So it's important to me.
Right. Can you describe
Dope city, you ever been there?
I've been there once. And
Super dope, man.
it was a great city, great vibe. You know, definitely there's different sides to it. You know, we stayed in the Airbnb. I can't tell you where, but I know there's certain parts where you felt more liberated and certain parts where you had to be a little more on point. You know what I mean? But
I think it's like that in every real
that's a
major
fact.
city.
That's a fact. What would
Right,
you
you gotta tap in, you don't know what's going on, you gotta figure it out.
Absolutely. What would you say is your favorite Philly cheesesteak spot?
A lot changed in the city, man. A lot of my favorite spots closed down or got different owners now.
Right.
Don't taste the same.
Right.
I guess the best bet if you go into the city right now and you want a quality steak, go to Max's.
Right. Is that where you would go or you'd go somewhere else?
Nah, I go to Max's. That's where I went the last time I was in the city.
Okay.
I had to stop past there and get a steak. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not in like a tourist area. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's
No, it's
kind of
not.
in the hood.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know,
It's not far from
a
Temple.
lot of people won't really choose to go there. They'll rather go to like Ishkabibbles and Jimmy's and
Right.
Pat's and
Right.
like they like, you know, the area where those places is at is more safe. It's like downtown where people feel, you know what I mean,
Right.
better at.
Yeah.
But Max's is like closer to the hood, so
Right. Is Max's the one by Temple University? Not far from there?
yeah, you know, Temple bought damn near all of North Philly, so
Right.
everything close to that.
Right. I feel that. Can you describe your childhood?
I mean, I had fun as a kid, man. Always was like a little intelligent. So I could always vibe out with people that was older than me, my old heads. But still vibe out with the kids that I was around and all of that. I was never like one of the dudes that got bullied or picked on or like, you know what I mean, harassed or nothing like that. So I don't got none of them stories from my childhood that like
Right.
could have tarnished my childhood. Like
Mm-hmm.
my older brothers and my family and the people that raised me was like super respected in the hood.
Right.
And they was like, my older brother is like 11 years older than me.
Yeah.
So he already was putting in work and had wild respect in the streets, and that's why I was able to move around like how I was moving around, like, you know what I'm saying? And old heads was showing me a lot of love because of the work that, you know, my family was putting in.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a good childhood, man. And my mom was super supportive. She used to spoil me.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So everything I felt like I wanted, I had.
Right.
Like as a kid, I was the one that used to come out on my porch and fill the whole thing up with toys, and all the kids from the neighborhood come around and play. I used to rent the wrestling matches, actually go to them.
Right.
Mom used to take me to go see wild wrestling matches and stuff like that.
Right.
So as far as I was concerned, I had it all.
Right.
It wasn't until I got older and really seen the world and learned what it's like to really have to realize that I was like kind of in poverty. I was a little fucked up.
Right.
But as a kid, it was all good to me.
Right. How much has your circle changed over the years?
It depends on what part of my circle. My circle is kind of huge. You know what I'm saying? So parts of my circle is not the same.
Right.
But there's certain people that, you know, was connected to me when I was a baby or before elementary school that I still got relationships with that's still in my life. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's dudes that, you know, only spent a little time in my circle. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how life is. You know, everybody ain't supposed to be in your life forever.
That's true.
Some people you might meet for a day, and they might play a huge part in your life for that one day.
Right.
But you might not never run into them or have an interaction with them again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people, it might be a couple days or a couple weeks, a couple months. Mm-hmm. Everybody got their seasons. And then you might got some people that's like, you know, lifetime attachments that you gonna make, like for the rest of your life and for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. Y'all be connected in a way, still communicating and still getting to it.
Right.
So I got older, I grew up a lot in the business, and like, you know what I mean, through the ups and downs, it's hard to keep, you know, the exact same circle.
Yeah.
Especially with people lives that they deal with. People get sick, people, you know, get shot, people go to jail, people have kids, people, you know what I mean, get responsibilities, people on probation. It could be a lot of reasons why, you know, a lot of the dudes that you cool with is not around you or hanging with you.
Right.
And then when you're trying to progress and you're trying to elevate, a lot of the dudes that you came up with in the city ain't on the same page as you. You know what I mean? You hang around them, you'll be back in the hood or even in a worse predicament.
Right.
So sometimes you gotta change your circle up to better yourself.
Right.
And if you want to learn and you want to grow, you got to be around people that could teach you. You can't be the leader and teaching everybody and expect to grow and learn. So your circle definitely got to change. And until you elevate and accomplish certain shit, you're not even accepted in the certain circles.
Right.
So that's the reason why through times your circle could change too, because certain people might not even want to affiliate themselves with you until you do something or reach a certain status. Then they'll start reaching out, and it'll seem like they are part of your circle now because you deserve for them to be.
Right.
That's life.
Family or friends?
I can't pick.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my family is my friends.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And my real, real good friends is family.
Right.
So it's all the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Some people just let the title as family override the fact that they don't connect with that person. They shouldn't be dealing with that person or that person bad for them. They feel like, yo, I just got to still deal with them because they family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And either or friends too. Sometimes you got a childhood friend or a friend you knew a long time. Mm-hmm. They could be making wild mistakes and wild, like, stagnating your process and hurting you in a lot of ways, but you'll continue to be their friend because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I think for me, I've learned that sometimes you have to remove certain people to make room for the people that are going to be with you at the next level. You know, sometimes you hold on to things because you want to be loyal. You know, your best friends, you share all these memories, but they may not fit that chapter in your life, or they may not want to be there. So they kind of ruin the energy and it just doesn't fit anymore. So
plus, we're not even informed enough to know, like, you know, sometimes they tell you this your mom and your dad, but people can't remember when they was a baby and they was born and if them people was there when you was born.
Right.
You just remember when you started getting your memory that they was there and they raised you, and it just seemed like it's your mom.
Right.
Seemed like that's your dad.
Right.
People later on in life do blood tests and find out all the time that the dude they thought was their dad, not their real dad.
Right.
So that mean if you thought this dude was your dad and he really not, all of the people that's connected to him that you thought was family, that you gonna treat like that,
Right.
was not your real family.
Right.
So they was only like what a friend could be, but you just treated them like family because you thought they was.
So you thought they were.
So that means you could give anybody that same type of love.
Very true.
And it could be somebody that you hate that you could be beefing with. It could be your op. And
Right.
your pop could have went around and popped somebody, and that could be your fucking brother or your
Right.
cousin or related to you in a way, and that is your real family.
Right.
But you think you're op because you don't know that.
Right.
So lack of information to make it impossible too to be able to pick between family and friends. It's just all about energy and how people carry it with me, how people treat me. And I respond and try to do, you know what I mean, similar shit.
Respect that. Beanie Siegel or Freeway?
Siegel, because he put Free on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Freeway did a lot, made history, but like I'm not sure if he all the way put Free on. I know Free was already doing his thing, but from the stories I heard, you know, Beans found Free,
Right.
took a liking to him and brought him into the whole situation that he had. So
Right.
Beans is like the OG, like the old head. He like the one that structured the whole situation.
Right.
So for that alone, you just got to pick Beans. Plus, with as far as like lyrics and like songs, I could relate more to Beanie shit, like, you know what I mean, over periods of time than Free.
Right.
Free got some crazy ass projects and some dope ass songs, but overall as an artist, and for the fact that Beans put Free on, you gotta go with Beans.
I feel you. Lil Wayne or 50 Cent?
Damn, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. They both dope. They both like, you know, legends. Both made history. Both got crazy ass records, and they both could rap.
Right.
But I don't know that. I can't really pick between that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would have to say though, like, you know what I mean, I had to go with like 50 though.
50. Okay.
Like, I think Lil Wayne is like over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the work that he put in, how I've been hearing him rhyming and going crazy for so long
Yeah.
is what make, you know, Lil Wayne special in the way that he's special.
Right.
But it's like 50 Cent. He was grinding on the underground for a little bit and niggas wasn't familiar with him. But soon as he got like his situation, he like skyrocketed and just like,
Yeah.
he was like him at the time. And it's just like his first project is just like,
Right.
I don't think Wayne's first project was like 50 first project. 50 first project was like super huge. And I think it's Diamond, and it's like,
Yeah.
it could have had something to do with the connections and the relationships that 50 had at the time. I'm not saying that make him better.
Right.
I'm just saying like the impact that he had with that project was like huge.
Yeah.
And I don't think like, you know, but as far as like bars and spitting, I would have to go with Wayne.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So just depend on for what I'm
Depending on,
I'm picking.
Okay.
You know what I mean? 50 got all of these projects, all of these movies and shows and series, and
Right.
I mean, got hit up all them times, was
Yeah.
dealing with a lot of opposition. So for him
Right.
to do what he did and make it how he made it, it's just like I fuck with his story. You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with Wayne's story too. He got shot too, hit himself. Think went through a lot.
Yeah, he was young.
You know what I'm saying? And
That
it
was-
came as a kid too. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? He was like a baby when he got in the game, like super young, and still
Right.
carried it all the way to this time. So
Right. That's very true.
it's like a tie with them, man. They both like, you know, they're too much for me to just
Right.
pick one, you know what I mean?
Right. Have you met either one of them?
I guess though, let me clear that up though. I guess if I'm gonna pick one, I'm gonna have to go with Lil Wayne, because
Okay.
I work with him. Like, you
Okay.
know what I'm saying? We got records together.
Yeah.
Came to the studio and showed me love, worked with me. And even times it's like I done been places like LA and just hit Wayne and, you know what I mean, pulled up to wherever he was staying at, and we busted up and was talking, and you know, we had ciphers and rapped. It's like I had interactions with Wayne a lot.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying, he really showed me love for real. It's like 50, we never did no music. You know what I mean? He brought me to This Is 50, showed me love in different ways, but we never got no records done.
Right.
So I had to side with Wayne for that fact.
All right. So for the Philly anthem, are we going with I Just Want to Rock or Dreams and Nightmares?
If I gotta pick the Philly, what is the Philly anthem?
So right now, Dreams and Nightmare has sort of kind of been like the Philly anthem that you always hear. But I guess this generation and the new wave are kind of saying, well, I Just Want to Rock, Lil Uzi Vert is kind of replacing that. So which one do you feel is the Philly anthem?
I don't even feel like they the same type of music.
They're not.
Like, I don't feel the same at all when I hear them two records. I don't think you can compare them.
Right.
That's like trying to compare, like, asking me what was the better song, like, Juicy from Biggie,
Right.
or I Wanna Rock from Luke and Two Live Crew or something.
Right.
It's like they both classics, they both fire songs, but it's like nowhere near the same.
Right.
Like, you can't compare them.
No, you can't.
And I feel like that's how Uzi Vert is with, you can't compare that song. It's not even no real lyrics and bars like that. It's like a vibe. It's like a different form of music.
Right.
And Meek shit is, hold up, wait a minute. And it's a different time period.
Right.
So you gotta understand that, you know, a big part of why Uzi or anybody coming from the city now could do what they do is because of the people that put in work before him.
Right.
And Meek was putting in work before him.
Right.
So maybe the reason why the attention was on the city, people was looking for artists from the city, who knows? But I just know Meek did it first, and that record was first, and it was huge.
Right.
So you can't just let another record come after that and just overshadow
Right.
what that was.
Right.
Just like all of them records that came after I'm a Hustler. Like, that's like a, you know, that's edged in stone in the city. I went to the city to shoot that video. Rampage got the record popping in Philly. It blew in Philly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a super Philly record, but that's like older than both of them records.
Right.
So the argument might be people that's younger that might not even be familiar with how I'm a Hustler made people feel when they came.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's records like Summertime from Will Smith, even though people don't look at him like the biggest rapper, like that's been playing for like the last 30 years straight,
30
every year. It's like,
right.
And it's still fire. When you hear it to this day, it's still fire. It still don't sound trash right now.
Yeah, thanks.
Like, so it's like, how can you say a record that just came out is bigger than that when it held weight for so long? Like,
all right.
That's just disrespectful, but I'm just happy that people from the city got big records. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put them in competition.
Right.
You know what I mean? They doing different things, got different fan base and a different bag. It's just good that they both got records that gonna live forever and people gonna know forever. It like touched people a certain way. Like a lot of people was in they prime of partying and growing up and living life when, hold up, wait a minute. Like that was the biggest thing out. So they never gonna forget about that. Yeah. And it could be even younger people that's that's having that time now.
Right.
So when they hear the Uzi Vert song and they dancing to that, that's making them feel different than if they go back and hear, hold up, wait a minute. Because they wasn't really there to feel it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just because, you know, different age groups get involved with the music, you can't forget what came before. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it's a classic, it's a classic. If it's fire, it's fire. You know what I mean? I would never let nobody come out with a song right now and then try to compare it to like a Michael Jackson song. Like, how you gonna do that?
Yeah, you can't.
How you gonna compare a new rapper and say he better than Big when Big not here no more and Big already did what he did?
Right.
You can't take no new song. Like, Big inspired niggas while he was alive.
Right.
But you know how many niggas that big then inspired since then? Like rappers that was already out, new rappers. He was an inspiration to so many different people that if you rap now, you've been inspired by Biggie somehow, some way, even if you're not aware of it. He inspired somebody that you like, even if you don't know. You just like them, don't even listen to Biggie. But they did. And the reason why they say what they say or rap like how they rap is because they listened to Biggie before.
Right.
So it's like, you can't take away from, you know, what paved the way for us to get here. You got to keep trying to improve, though, and get better.
Absolutely.
And I feel like rap is growing, and what people is doing with hip hop and rap is growing. That's why we got to figure out different categories to put these new versions of rap in,
Right.
so it won't get all mixed up together.
Yeah.
So you won't be trying to argue what's better, a Little Uzi Vert new song or a Griselda song.
Right.
Like it's nowhere near the same. You
Right.
can't even
The intent
compare
is different.
them. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's not even supposed to be compared.
It's not.
That's like trying to compare golf and rugby or something. It's
Right,
like
right,
it's
right.
two different things. It's like it's not nowhere near the same. It's like
Yeah.
two different sports.
Got you.
But if you put it all the same, and now people got to pick out of all of the sports, football, basketball, baseball, boxing, or who the best, it's like that's weird. And it'll never be a real clear final decision.
Right.
Because if I like boxing, I could just say, yo, Floyd the best, or like, you know what I mean, Tank the best, or
Right.
Terrence Crawford the best, or Earl Spence the best. I could feel like that. And I
Right.
could have a right to say that. And you can't really argue that. Like they is the best right now
Yeah.
in boxing.
In boxing.
But you can't tell me that they better than LeBron, or like, you know what I'm saying, somebody like that, Steph, or, you know what I'm saying? Or they not going to feel like that if you like basketball.
Right.
You ain't going to say that, you know what I mean? Whatever sport, you're going to pick that person.
Right.
So they shouldn't all be in the same category, just like this style of music that people doing shouldn't be all in the same category. Rock, like country music, a bunch of other categories figured out ways to break down these different styles that
Right.
everybody doing. But with rap, they just say it's rap.
It just is rap. J. Cole or Kendrick?
Damn. I would have to go with J. Cole.
I'm with you.
J. Cole. I like the syllables that he piece up, the way he rap, he creative. Like I fuck with him.
Right.
Fuck with J. Cole. I think if I personally like, I think Kendrick is dope though. Don't take away from that. He dope, super talented. But if I personally just had to like zone out and listen to something, I think I put on some J. Cole.
Right.
But I think Kendrick got some dope ass songs. Like I think they both super good. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
hard. I just think lyrically, line for line, J. Cole better.
Right. Switch Beats or Timberland?
Swiss. Timberland, one of my favorite producers. That nigga crazy, but I actually work with Swiss. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of my hit records, or all of them maybe, most of them, is
Right.
like produced by Swiss. We got years in, and I got a different relationship with Swiss. I know what he capable of, even more than just a fan or somebody that just heard his music, because I was in there with him for years.
Right.
With Timberland, I've been in the studio with him before, but we never worked like that. Like I wasn't his artist, and we never locked in like that. So
Right.
I only know what he capable of from like the fan perspective.
Right. From what we all
I
know.
really know what Swiss could do. I know how talented he is, how smart he is, and he's a huge part of me. So I would have to go with Swiss.
Got you. I could sell Ray to a bug. I'm a hustler. I could sell Saul to a slug.
Yeah. Classic shit.
Right. Classic. How'd you feel when that record came out?
I was excited because my first project, I had 2 huge records, but it was Hotel and Get No Better.
Right.
Top 40 type records for the females. It was like commercial.
Right.
But I was coming from battle rapping the streets and talking crazy, and everybody knew me for being lyrical, so that didn't match up.
Right.
So I wanted the type of record that could still be, a hit record, still pop off, but represent a little more what you feel like when you really around me.
Mm-hmm.
And not just the females, but how grown men feel when they around me. Like I wanted that feeling out there. So I needed a certain type of record, and we start working, and I came up with it. Actually, I did the I'm a Hustler record. It was a mixtape record, had long verses.
Mm-hmm.
When it popped off in Philly, I re-recorded it, did the verses over, and made it into a song.
Right.
And started pushing it and begging J Records to make it a single.
Right.
But they didn't want to go with the record because, first of all, it's talk about hustling. It's like street. And then the chorus is nigga ask, nigga ask about me, nigga ask about me. It's like a lot of niggas just in the chorus alone. Right. So to try to get that on the radio or make that commercial is like so difficult, especially for a label like J Records.
Right.
So they wasn't really trying to go in that direction with a record like that. So we had to like leak it and put it out on our own, serviced it to the mix show DJs, and they just, without no radio budget or no push, they just went crazy with it on their own.
Right.
And once J Records seen that it was getting some traction, and that's when they started to put the money into it and invest into it, and we was able to shoot the video and get it off the ground like that.
Right. My other favorite line from that song is, he made it a hot line, I made it a hot song.
Yeah.
That's another great part.
Yeah, that was inspiration from Jay-Z, Hov, when he was going through that with Nas.
Mm-hmm.
On the Dead Presidents song, Presidents to Represent Me. That's what he meant. You made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. So he said that to Nas. But because I had Jay-Z sampled on the song, it came to my mind. And it wasn't the same way as like they was like really beefing and going through shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was really like bigging up Hov, the fact that he gave me the line and I'm on the record with him, but it was just a line for him, and it's a whole song for me. It's like a whole movement, a whole thing for me. When he said it, it was just a line and a verse.
Right.
But for me, it's a whole song, is a big thing. So he made it a hot line, I made it a hot song, and there's a flip of what he already said to Nas. So it's like just being creative, word playing, also showing that, I got some type of courage, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people wouldn't have wanted to say that about somebody that, holds so much weight.
Right.
And because they never know how he was going to take it. But I just knew, like, I was just so confident in myself and knew that I ain't mean no disrespect.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just was what it was.
Right. Right.
And I'm just saying that because I think he definitely meant it with disrespectful when he was saying it to Nas. It was like a different energy than when I said it. Like,
right,
he wasn't
different
beefing.
energy and different intentions.
Yeah, for sure.
And you always look fly, stay with the me outfits. And you got shoes that they ain't even come out with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get no better. Another classic.
Yeah, that's a big record. That's the record that I didn't think was going to be as big. Like, I know I felt good about Get No Better, and I knew it was going to be a good one. But I ain't think it was going to be like what it is now. It's like when I perform Get No Better, it's like one of my biggest records. It's like the response for that is still crazy to this day. It's a classic, and it's like, I ain't know when we did it that it was going to necessarily be like that from the beginning. But
no, it's definitely.
Once we recorded it, it just felt good. And it was a record that I knew J Records could work.
Right.
And once they put it out, it got a good response. You know what I'm saying? But records with like R. Kelly on it, or records when you sample Jay-Z, and it was like not no old Jay-Z. It was like a record that he recently just put out.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like no classic line. It was a line. If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go on, brush your shoulders off. That was a newer record.
Still in that era,
Yeah, so to sample that, do it, and then be able to clear it was like, it was crazy, like unheard of.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt good about that, and I felt good about Hotel. You just know they gonna be big. You know what I'm saying? But Get No Better, I wasn't so sure about that one the same,
Right.
but it's a classic, so I love that song, man. And I love talking to the ladies. That's something I specialize in.
Right.
And it's difficult for dudes that could get lyrical and get busy like me to be able to do that. It's either one or the other.
Right.
So to be able to do them both is beneficial. And LL, the GOAT, the legend, one time I was in the studio with him and he gave me that advice when I was real young. He was talking about my image and my look, and he was saying I need to keep up my image, keep my look up, and don't do no hard drugs, because that's ruining a lot of rappers. It'd be like eating them alive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stay away from the hard drugs and stay focused, then the ladies will love you forever.
Right.
As long as the ladies love you forever, you'll always be able to do what you need to do to stay successful.
Right.
And I realized that he was one that was always doing records for the ladies, but could still get busy, still was in battle mode, still was not letting nobody say they was better than him, but I could still talk to the ladies. So he was my super inspiration for going in the direction that I go in, you know what I mean?
Right. Definitely shout out to LL Cool J.
For sure.
And definitely, as we speaking of hotel, I got a suite you could creep on through. I know you try and get your freak on too.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's the one right there, man. How was your lifestyle during the height of hotel?
It was the beginning.
Okay.
I was signed for some years. Like I got signed when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I think Hotel came out when I was like 21 years old.
Right.
So it was like a whole, like going to college. Like I had went through that before I was able to come out with the single.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still new to me of knowing that you dope, but like the world telling you back that you dope. Like I ain't feel that. I ain't have the support. A lot of people wasn't aware of me. So,
Right.
You know what I mean? I always knew I was dope, but I just needed the opportunity to let people be able to hear that.
Yes.
So with Hotel out, I realized that was going on because every time you turn on the radio, you would hear it. It was like in heavy rotation. I was appealing to over 100 million in audience a day with that record. So, and it wasn't just on urban radio, it was on big radio stations.
Right.
So, and I would hear it all the time. So, you know, like if I'm hearing it, everybody else got to be hearing it.
That's
so
right.
It just was like a shift in the way I felt about the response from what I was doing.
Right.
And felt like now I could get the business. Like I gotta figure out the business and I gotta figure out what's best for me to keep moving forward. Cause I don't want this feeling to end. I wanna be the best. So I want people to keep hearing what I could do so they can know that I'm the best.
Right.
So I was trying to figure that out. And that's when I turned into the hustler. Like, you know what I mean? Those 4 years that I was signed and wasn't really doing nothing is when I was the problem. I wasn't really happy with this situation. I needed an opportunity to get out.
Yeah.
But once I got out, now I turned into a hustler. I got to figure out a way to make this make sense and benefit from the skill I got. So around that time when Hotel was out, it was like life-changing. But at the same time, it wasn't like I was celebrating and in party mode because
Right.
at the same time Hotel was out, I'm learning the business.
Right.
I'm learning what comes from Hotel, how the money work, how the business go, like, and it's so much of that on my mind and so much on my mind of how I could keep it moving and so much pressure to keep coming up with records like this that you can't really like enjoy it.
Right.
Like your mind is so focused and you got so many obligations
Right.
that you can't really enjoy it. You just see it happening, but you can't really feel it.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Maybe even as a fan or a regular person, you could feel it more because you're not attached to it and you don't got no obligations. You could just feel the vibe.
Right. You could
But
just
when
enjoy
you
the music.
actually working and stuff, it's hard to like, actually feel what it's doing until later, until you get the statistics or get a chance to chill and look back.
Right. They put me in a cell, just me and the rats. And my relationship with God is what kept me relaxed. All by myself.
That's a super, super real line, man, because you know, when I first got to jail, you know what I mean, I ain't have no cellies. So I was in there by myself, just me and the rats. Rats running under the door. That's just your only company.
Right.
And it's like, you know what I mean, to be in the position that I was in, dropping all of this music, getting all these investors that spending this money on you, making all this money traveling the world, and now you just got to sit with just you and the rats.
Right.
It's like in order to keep your sanity and stay the same, you got to have a relationship with the higher power.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I was talking about. Like the only thing that could keep me relaxed, to know that I was going to beat the case and everything was going to work out, was to know that, you know what I mean, I'm the higher power kid, and you never want nothing to happen to your kids. You know what I mean? You want the best for them. So even if you do yell at them or correct them, it's only to make them better, not to hurt them.
Right.
So whatever I'm going through at the time is all beneficial for me. I just don't understand at the time.
At the time.
So knowing that is what kept me relaxed through the whole situation.
Right. Speaking of parenting, I was talking about this earlier today, and it would be cool to get your perspective on it. Do you feel that there are times that parents can be too aggressive?
Yeah, for sure. And there's parents that's not aggressive enough. It depends on the kid. Like every kid is different depending on how they was raised. They mental, like where they at. Signs too, like when they was born, at what time they was born in. If both parents is around, or if they got siblings, or if they got examples of how to carry themselves. Like, you know what I mean? All of that play a part on how hard you should go on your kid,
Right.
how much they got under control, how good they can follow directions.
Right.
Like some kids is just like born old, like they just like advanced, they do everything right, they not making too many mistakes. So there's no reason to be aggressive and extra discipline them or be all extra with them.
Right.
And then there's some kids that's like super wildin', and they parents is not aggressive at all, just let them do whatever. And that's the reason why they feel like they can wild.
Right.
You know what I mean? And instead of like punishing them or trying to correct it, sometimes they get reward still for the bad stuff that they do.
Right.
Or they get saved. So that's why they feel like I could keep doing wrong, because there's always going to be something that can save me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
Right. But the car crash couldn't lay the hustler down. Nah. It wasn't looking pretty, but Swizzy, I'm still here. They said I could have been brain dead in a wheelchair. But I'm standing in the booth and my skills still here.
Yeah.
The hustler home. The hustler home.
Home.
My drink and my two-step.
Standing in the booth and the skills is still here. That was a real line too, because when I was in the hospital, right after the accident, I was in a coma. And they put me in the medicated coma because they didn't want me to come out my real coma and suffer any trauma. So they put me in the medicated coma.
Mm-hmm.
After I came out the medicated coma, I had amnesia. So the word was my brain was so badly damaged that I was never going to be able to rap again. Like, think of these raps and bars and the type of memory I got and all of the things I do. It probably wasn't going to be possible for me to do that no more.
Right.
So everybody thought it was over.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially for me to be a rapper. Like, not my life. I probably could still live, but doing what I was doing is over for that.
Mm-hmm.
So in that short period of time after having amnesia, to get my memory back, like I even forgot Hotel. Them lines that you reading from these songs, I ain't know that. I forgot all my music, everything. Like, I had amnesia for real, so I forgot Hotel. I could look at the video and it's like deja vu. You know, it's like I kind of think I seen it, but it just like, I don't remember nothing, none of the words. I don't remember none of the moves I'm doing.
Right.
None of the stuff. It's just like, it was a weird feeling.
Right.
And I used to hear about that shit on TV shows and movies, amnesia, but it's hard to understand it until it like really happened to you or somebody that you close to.
Right.
Like, so to recover from that and get back in the studio in a quick period of time, that's why I was saying that. Like I'm back in the booth and the skills is still here. Like they thought I was never gonna be able to do it. That's what the doctor said.
Right.
But I trust in the higher power, God.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I
Amen.
was in that bag at that time. People ain't understand it, but
Right.
they were saying I was gonna be in jail forever. COs were saying that. Inmates were saying that. People were saying that. Like, yo, you never going home, yo. Like, yo, you had the world. You was rad. You was trading. Now you never going home. You gonna be in here forever with niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when I got in an accident, they like, yo, your brain too badly damaged. You never gonna be able to rap again. But now I'm in the booth and I'm drinking two-step, the lyrics that you saying right now.
Yes, sir.
So to be able to pull that off is like a miracle in my eyes. So I wanted to express that to people, like no matter what you're going through, even the doctors, the people that specialize in that profession could say something, but it's not edged in stone as long as you got the faith.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? God didn't count you out.
For sure.
And then God has the final say.
For sure.
That's facts.
All the time.
How did the passing of DMX affect you?
It hurt, man. It's like X was an inspiration to me. You know what I mean? I was signed to Rough Riders when I was 17. He was already lit. When I first got down with Rough Riders, he was already platinum and doing his thing and going crazy already. So, when I got around, all of the energy was revolved around X. Right. Like before I got signed with Rough Riders, I thought Rough Riders was X label. I thought he was like...
It might as well have been, right?
Yeah, I thought that was his shit. I didn't know like the real CEOs, DNY, Siobhan and all of them. I didn't know like the behind the scenes details. I just thought that was X label.
Right.
So that's how much of a part he played over there and how much of an inspiration he was to me even before I got down with them. So when I got down with them and I got to see the energy that he was bringing to the table, it just inspired me to want to get on my job.
Right.
Seeing him perform and rock shows and just seeing how he was just carrying it. Right. But being unique, not following the tradition or what they say you got to do to be successful.
Right.
Like he like pretty much did like a lot of shit that they wouldn't approve of and went against the grain from the beginning.
Yes.
But he made it all work and he was successful with doing it.
Right.
So that's the reason why he was a super inspiration to me. And he was piecing up syllables. He could really rap. Right. He had his own voice. Anytime you hear X on the song, you know that's him. You don't get him confused with nobody else.
That's a fact.
And that's what I love about artists when they unique, like you can tell them from a million miles away. Like you know that's them because nobody else could sound like them or do nothing that they do. Like when I hear Busta, I can hear Busta from 1,000 miles away. Like I don't get Busta confused with nobody else. Right. It's like that voice, that energy, the style, the way he rap is just only him that do that.
Right. It's so distinct.
Yeah, and it seemed like for a period of time, rappers were so interested in getting the bags and thinking that they gotta follow the trend to be successful that they started sounding similar.
Right.
So a lot of artists that was popping, you couldn't tell the difference between them and a lot of other artists that's out.
Right.
And that's not necessarily good.
I would say this too. They weren't living in their purpose.
For sure.
If you're not in your purpose, then you're never gonna be aligned. Because what's for you is not for me.
Exactly.
What's for me is not for you. But conversation was over and Cassidy met in the middle.
Yeah.
So we here now.
Nah, that was a good way to look at it though.
For sure.
For sure.
You know? Did battle rap choose you or did you choose battle rap?
I think it's both. You know, battle rap existed before I got into it to a certain level.
Right.
And I was always interested in that. But once I got involved, I just wanted to take it to a whole nother level. I wanted to be even more competitive than I ever seen any rapper be before.
Right.
So I feel like I was born with the name bars. I was born to rap. And I was born to be competitive and prove I'm the best. So that's all a part of battling.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got to battle to do that and prove that.
Right.
So I think I was born in battle mode. Even before I started rapping, I used to want to debate and argue and never let people get the best of me. Cause I just was competitive since a baby.
Right.
So battling was always in me. So before I even had a consciousness or knew what I wanted to do, I was in battle mode. So I would have to say it must have chose me.
Right.
I wasn't even in the right place to say I'm choosing that because I was already battling before my mind was even together. It just was like natural. It's just in me. So I was born with it.
My little shooters keep it on their wayside. They small, but they hot. But they ride. Right from the jump, they'll bang on you. Nate Robb.
Shout out Nate Robb, man. Nate Robb, that's my bro, man. A couple times. I got to go to Nate Robb house, hang out with him, his family, his mom, his sisters, his kids. Like he brought me around his real family and showed me a lot of love.
Right.
So that's like my real bro. I fuck with him for real.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just was a little ending I came up with for battle rap. I know niggas be trying to like, you know, pat pockets and do little, like, you know, little antics in battle rap. So it just was something I wanted to show niggas like. And Shotgun Suge be like dunking on niggas and tapping pockets, and he from Jersey and was connected to the person that I said it in that rap too. So that's basically what it was about. And just thinking of Nate Robb because that's my homie.
Yeah.
And
he was the guy
like my size. Too. Yeah, it was really because I'm like little, but I still get busy. I'm active, so that's what he represent. We like similar. He like my height. Like when I be around him, we like the same size.
Yeah.
But to know that he be out there with the Giants, like I've been around other basketball players too. That's like, damn, they're twice my size, three times my size. These niggas is huge.
Right.
So to know that he, a nigga my size, is on the court dunking on them niggas and really playing with these niggas, it's like, it's incredible. It's like, I can't even believe that nigga out there doing that. So, I mean, I had to shout him out and just like do my version of that with the rap.
Right. So in the same battle, you shouted out the Bronx, and I'm from the South Bronx. So I had to show love to my city. When you said, and made bands like E. Ness, the BX where started rap, but too raw for the streets is what started Smack.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who started that?
I like a lot of people not familiar with Too Raw for the Streets. That's like a Philly DVD. Legendary. I was on it. A lot of the big artists from Philly was on it.
Right.
But it's giving people the opportunity to get heard, get their voice out, and build up their fan base, even before the Smack DVDs.
Right.
And before the URL was created.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was like inspiration for Smack to jump in that bag.
Right.
Because of some of them DVDs that was out already.
Right.
So that's the reason why I said that line. And then a lot of people not informed with where hip hop originally supposed to have started at. And that's the BX.
Yes, sir.
So similar, you know what I mean? This battle rap vibe, this whole energy, I feel like, you know, it started in Philly with me, with Too Raw for the Streets and that energy. Like, even before niggas was battling, they just was on camera rapping like they was battling. It's just like that energy.
Yeah.
Even hearing people with no beat or just the hand movements and the body language that go along with spitting, but it's not a video. It's not like polished and we trying to look a certain way. It's like the real feel of that. It's like reality TV rap back then.
Mm-hmm.
So it paved the way to a lot of dudes doing the DVDs that they did. Brought a whole new energy to the table, but I'm just trying to like let people know, you know, a little bit of history.
A little bit of history.
That's why them lines wasn't registering as much to people that's uninformed. Like you play that to a young nigga, they never gonna like that line because they not gonna understand what I'm saying. It's like sound basic to them.
Right. For me, I was always drawn to artists like you and Fab and Kiss for things that you gotta dissect it and know a little bit about a couple different things to piece it all together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what always got me for that.
And because of my age and because I've been traveling the world and seen a lot and like elevated, felt like I was on top of the world, then been down and felt like I was at the bottom. And I done been on all different type of levels. So the information that I got is deep. and it's like worldly. It's not like just from one city or one age group or just like only one type of person could understand it.
Right.
I know I got a lot of fans in a lot of different places that's not on the same type time.
Right.
So of course I want to please the niggas from, you know, the old block I grew up on in Philly.
Right.
They gonna be able to relate to a lot of the slang, the street shit I'm talking about because they lived through it.
Right.
But I also had a person in Russia. I did a show in Russia. A guy came up to me and he was speaking pretty good English. And he like, yo, he was speaking it good. And he was telling me he was a fan of me before he could speak English.
Wow.
And he was so into the way I was like making these faces and moving my hands and saying the words with so much energy. He just had to understand what I was saying.
Right.
But he couldn't understand it because he didn't speak English.
Right.
So that's what made him want to go learn English. And then he went and learned English and now he speak it fluently, like good.
Right.
But he like the reason what made him want to learn English is me. So I made this man want to learn a whole nother language. And once he learned the language, he started learning my lyrics, memorizing them and really knowing what they mean now. Because now he know English.
Right.
So if you got a fan like that, but he not from like the hoods in America, he not like probably living the same type of life or dealing with the same type of stuff, but he still relate to me and like me.
Right. He was still impacted.
So some of the things that I say that a person might can relate to from my city, he might not understand.
Right.
And certain things that I might say that he might go crazy for, a person from my city might not understand.
Right.
But I still gotta please both people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So that's the thing. A lot of people don't got to deal with that. They only got a certain amount of fans in a certain place. So they could just focus on that alone.
Right. It's sad. I never knew where my dad was, so I had to trap. I used to traffic drugs like CVS before GPS. Plus was stuck in my ways before I had the app.
Yeah. It's a little scheme with the GPS ways. And wordplay, you know what I'm saying? So, just battle rap shit, man.
Right.
Like, you know, and that's true. Like before GPS was out, before people had GPS in their car, before any of this technology was in the cars, like I was stuck in my ways. I was like this
Right.
from as long as people couldn't remember me. Like I was always like this.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I ain't find my ways because of GPS. Like I always knew my destination. I always knew where I was trying to go.
Right.
And I was always following that destination. Nobody could throw me off track. So that's what pretty much that line was about.
Right. I definitely gotta get this one right. You think because you sucker punch Math, that niggas fear you? Didn't you say you sucker punched him because that nigga dared you? Well, I dare you. I fucking dare you. I double dare you. I triple dog dare you.
You try it, my dogs will air you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Him, and all them niggas standing near you. Like, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Fuck with that.
He ain't see that one coming.
Yeah.
No way. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, Math, my homie, I did Math shows sometimes, but we had a relationship even before his show popped off. And actually, I had a part in that battle that, like, see, I be so prepared, like a whole round that I was supposed to spit, I didn't spit.
Right.
So I even had a part where Math actually did a part in my round. So it was a part where I was supposed to be doing a scheme. Then you was gonna hear the phone ring. And I was gonna pick up my phone. When I pick up my phone, it was gonna be Math.
Right.
And we gonna be talking on the phone, but in battle style.
Right.
And I had that set up, but I couldn't even pull that off because it was like a little technical difficulties. But that was a big thing about him sucker punching Math and the whole energy that was like big right before that.
Right.
So, you know, Math is the one known for punching people, and now you got somebody that punched him.
Right.
So Disaster had a little bit of people under pressure. So for me to go to Cali, where he from, right after he just punched on Math, is like took a different type of balls.
Right.
But I knew that I really was on that type time, so that's why I put them lines together. Like, you know what I mean? You thought I was scared to fly out, man. Like, cause you hit Math, like, nigga, I dare you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hit me though. Like, I know you hit him, you said, because that's the reason why he said he hit Math.
Right.
That was what made the line deeper, because he said the reason everybody asked him, why did you hit Math? And he said he dared me.
Right.
Like, he dared me to hit him. Like, that's what he, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Math,
that was
I
his
dare
reason.
you, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like he don't feel like he'd do it, so that's why he did it.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, if you punch Math because he dared you, then I dare you.
Right.
I fucking dare you.
Right.
I double dare you.
Right.
Like, I triple dog dare you. Like, I dare you even more than, like,
Right.
I want you to really know that I'm daring you.
Right.
So do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that just took a lot. You know what I
Right.
mean? Who knows? He could have flipped out, tried his hand, it could have went left. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was prepared for however it could have went.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. So isn't a lot of the preparation, where does the information come from?
I was like slightly tapped in at that time. Like, once they locked it in for the battle, well, before that, I wasn't really. You know what I'm saying? But after they locked in the battle, I'm like, well, I gotta figure this shit out. Like, let me tap in and see what's going on. So that's
Right.
when I started like learning about like more what was going on.
Right.
And I started communicating with Math because that happened with him and he knew I was about to battle him.
Right.
So I had to find out like what was the situation with the punch and shit, and I found out all about it. And that's how I was able to put it together. It's not like, you know what I mean, it was hard to research that because that was like a big thing that happened in, you know what I mean? So it's not like I was on the internet really searching nothing. That was just like,
Right.
you know, right there out in the open. That was easy to learn about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So because of who you are, do you feel it was hard to get people to respect you in battle rap?
Of course. And the way I was carrying it. I didn't come in like I'm trying to be cool and I'm giving people props and I'm like, yo, he hot and he nice and he's the best and this and that.
Right.
It's like I came in criticizing, like, yo, he don't do this right. He don't do this. I'm the best.
Right.
Like, so it's like kind of knocking what they do in a way. And they ain't take it right. So they joined up together, made a little team that I called the Avengers. It was like superheroes all coming together to fight against Thanos.
Right.
And that's what it was like. So I had to like put in a little bit more work, even though I put in all that work to get us where we at now and all that work I put in back in the day. Everybody that was in the culture wasn't aware of it. So I had to come back and do that again.
Right.
So they wasn't giving me the benefit of the doubt at first because I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to get the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to make it more difficult for myself to give myself a challenge.
Right.
But it's changing up now. I've been around for a minute in battle rap. And now that I'm back in it, I'm super tapped in. Like with the disaster battle, I was just getting tapped in.
Right.
But now I've been around for years, so I know everything.
Right.
Like I even be knowing, like I got my man K Walker with me. He a battle rapper. He's super locked in. He got like 4 battles lined up now.
Right.
But I be talking to him all the time. And I hit him and I be like, yo, you seen this? Or you know what's going on with this? And he like, nah, I ain't even see that. I'm like, yo, you ain't see what's the name battle such and such? And he like, I gotta watch that. But I be like up on it. Like I be super tapped in, know everything, know all the bloggers, know all the battle rappers, know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it give me an advantage to be more, even more like dangerous because now I got the information that's needed to be deadly with these bars.
Right.
So a lot of the times people be getting good results because the average person, and this what they, like the average person that watch battle rap won't even understand a lot of the lines that battle rappers say because it be about battle rap and everybody not tapped in. They don't understand what's going on in battle rap. They don't even understand all the names.
Right.
So you could say, yo, you got, I mean, through your chest, big titties like such and such. Or you remember when such and such got smacked by such and such, I smacked you like how he did him. And you don't know none of the names they saying. You don't know about the incident about somebody getting smacked.
Right.
So it's like hard to catch the line. You might hear the crowd going, oh, and you might feel like, yo, I should know what's going on because they going crazy like it's crazy, but I just don't understand it.
Right.
And a lot of that be going on in battle rap. And I know I got fans that's not like all the way locked in and tapped into battle rap. They just like lyrics and bars, but they don't follow this reality show that's going on in battle rap. So they don't know all of the information that's brought to the table.
Right.
But now I'm super locked in. So not only can I please them people that's not tapped in, because I rap for them too, but now I can rap specifically for the battle rap culture because I'm super locked in.
Right.
And I've been doing like media work too. They call me Mr. Podcast. Not Cast with a T, but my name, Mr. Podcast.
Right.
And I've been doing like hosting face-offs for battle rap leagues.
Right.
Just did one for RBE. They had another one that was called Create For You with King Bao battle Daylight on the main event. I did them face-offs and hosted that battle.
Right.
So I've been doing a lot of like media work too in battle rap. Always been communicating with the battle rappers. You know, busting it up with them and trying to motivate them in any way possible. So I already been kind of locked in, but now I'm super locked in.
Right.
And I feel like battle rap belong to me, and it's up to me to keep doing what I'm doing to take it to the next level.
Right. So we got 2 questions left. I like to ask this for perspective and to see what people would have said to their younger selves. So what's your message to your younger self?
I don't want to, if anything, I would say I wouldn't even want to talk to my younger self.
Right.
But if I did have the chance or I had to, I would just say, keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't tell myself to do something different or to do this or to do that, because it's all going according to plan.
Right.
And everything that happened, I learned from, I take heed from, and it helped me to become who I am.
Right.
So I'm happy that everything happened the way it happened. And I wouldn't want to tell my young self something different to change me getting to this place.
Right.
Because if the younger me changed, then he would never get to become me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you might think that you're telling yourself something to better yourself.
Right.
But you don't know it all neither. So you tell your young self something different that may make your young self do a different move to try to be better, but it might make them worse. Sometimes just being at the wrong place in the wrong time could end your life.
Right.
So you might be trying to chase something because the person told you to do something. You might trying to be getting to it, trying to better yourself, but you just at the wrong place in the wrong time, and then you die earlier. So you never even make it to be this age.
Right.
So you're trying to better your young self, but you actually shortened your younger self life by trying to tell him something that you wasn't supposed to tell him.
Right.
And I ain't like, I feel like I'm a speckle, like a little fragment of the higher power, but I'm not the higher power altogether.
Yeah.
So I don't got the mind to know and have everything mapped out to know what to tell my young self to make it perfect.
Right.
So all I would just tell my younger self is to just keep doing what you're doing.
Right. They do say that, you know, we are created in God's image.
For sure.
So that means, you know, God is within us all. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, if his power is endless, so is ours. You know what I'm saying? We may not see it all, but we are definitely more than capable. You know, for those people that feel like they don't have the power or the choice.
I agree, but it's how you look at it. It's like if you want to look at like your pinky nail, like the nail on your pinky finger, that's a part of you too.
Right.
That's a part of your body and it's a part of you. So if it's in connection with the rest of your body and in your mind, then it could use your whole body to do stuff.
Right.
Like if your nail of your pinky is in connection with the rest of your body to send a signal to your brain to tell you to do something, then you can do it. Your whole body though.
Right.
Like if you wanted to lift this table up and just flip it, you could do it. Like you got the strength in your whole body to do that.
Right.
So if your pinky nail wanted that done, it would have to collaborate with the rest of your body, and your body would have to be in agreement to do it. And then you can do it easy. It'll be no problem for you to flip the table.
Right.
But the pinky nail can't just separate itself from the rest of your body like I'm on my own.
Right.
I'm just God. I'm a part of you, so I could do whatever he can do just as this pinky nail.
Right.
So now as the pinky nail, I could jump off his finger, go to the table, and flip the table over myself.
Right.
The pinky nail can't do that by itself. It needs the rest of you. And even though you're a little part of God, you can't perform or do what God do.
Right.
Because you only like even smaller than the nail.
Right.
They're just giving you
Yeah.
you even smaller than the nail to God.
Right.
You are a part, but you just like the nail jumping off. So by yourself, not that powerful.
Right.
And it's like you're not even really got no purpose if you're not attached to the body. Just a nail just sitting there is like it's nothing. Like
Right.
people cut their nails off all the time and then it's nothing no more.
Right.
It's only a factor when it's attached to you and it's working with the rest of you.
Right.
So I guess as believers, niggas got to be attached to the rest of the believers and the rest of the creation. Nature, like, be attached to everything. Like, you need the whole body
Right.
to be effective. And that's why they say in religion, the body of Christ, because all the believers make up
Right.
the body of Christ. And that was just kind of an analogy that I gave you. Like, you is a part of God, but you such a small fragment that you can't pull off all of the things that you want God to do.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be in collaboration with the spirits, all of the energy of God, not just yourself.
Right.
But you do got the power to connect with the rest of the energy because you are that now. You are connected to the body. You are a part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that, it give you the motivation to do whatever you need to do.
Right.
Which give the motivation for the nail to keep growing.
Absolutely. Message to the young rappers.
For sure.
Last question. Message to the young rappers.
Get old.
Mm-hmm.
Like being young is dope. You got your youth, got your energy, and you want to always do better than what came before you.
Right.
But get old though. Getting old is dope. Like having a young history and living through it and then being able to reminisce on it and getting older and be able to pass it off to anybody young, anybody old, your kids, your rest of your family. That's a great feeling, like being able to live life and survive.
Right.
So all of the young rappers, I would just say, do whatever you got to do to get old.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or
mhm.
if you can't get old because it's already written, then just try to do as much as you could do while you live your short life.
Right.
Like earlier in the interview, I told him like Jesus himself only lived to be 33 years old.
Right.
Which is a young life. Like people think like, yo, if I only live to be 33, that's like short. Like
Right.
that's a young nigga.
Right.
But he did more than like they said if they tried to write down everything that they say Christ did, they said the world wouldn't even be able to hold all of the books.
Right.
Like it'd just be too much information. It's just like too much to explain.
Right. So
if that person could do all that in 33 years, you got Big and Pac, like one of the biggest people in music ever or rap. And they died in their 20s.
Right.
Like they was like
24,
super
25,
young niggas,
super
man.
Young. Even younger than Jesus.
Super young.
Right.
But still like made a super impact while they was here.
Right.
Even Dr. King and Malcolm X and them niggas was young when they checked out.
Right.
Like they talk about them because they had an old aura. Like they was doing shit old niggas do, but they was still young niggas.
Yes, a fact.
And checked out dumb young, but made an impact, got holidays, got streets in every city named after him.
Right.
And nobody never gonna forget about him. All type of movies, series, and all type of shit about him from that short lifetime. And then you got people that might have lived to be 115 years old and you don't know nothing about them.
Right.
No series, no movies, nobody talking about them, nobody remember them, nobody know about them.
Right.
So it's all up to you. Like, make your decision on how you want to live your life. Do you want to be like one of them people that might live to be old and nobody know you?
Right.
You want to be young and go out and, I mean, be member forever?
Right.
Or you could probably do both. You could still live to be old and still member it forever. It's just all about how you want to carry it.
Right.
But I believe energy never dies. So them people that passed away is still living in just in a different scenario, a different dimension. Like the energy is still here. Like we still talking about them. We still know them. Even people that passed away, sometimes they presence is so strong that when you talk about them, you could see them and feel them even more than people that's alive. Like that you actually know.
Right.
Like, so it's like, damn. I mean, I feel like that's what living life is about, living it to the fullest. You never know when you're going to check out.
Right.
The higher power just let you know that eventually you are going to have to move to another board.
Right.
It's like playing a video game. No matter how good you do this board, you're gonna have to go to the next one.
Right.
Some people could take long to get to the next board.
Right.
Some people could do it super quick.
Right.
But it's all about elevating.
Absolutely, man. So, Cass, man, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your energy. This is I'm gonna have to process this one.
I appreciate you for having me, man. This was a dope one, though.
No, thank you. The podcast makes 5 years, April 28th. So it's taken 5 years to be hot for 5 months. But we here, and we're trending in the right direction. We're having positive conversation. We're giving our community something useful, something that they could take. Like when the kids see this and when the community see this, they're going to be able to take useful information from it. You know what I'm saying? Because we gave them something that they could apply. And that's my intention in every episode. So if you told me 5 years
ago. I told you I got
ahead.
signed when I was 17. My first album ain't come out till I was 21. That's the 5-year process of grinding.
Yes, sir.
And then, you know what I mean? You could get your 5 months, like what you said. It's like all about the grind, never stopping and just believing in yourself.
Absolutely.
You never know how the higher power got it planned for you.
Right.
And I'm sure that whole 5 years, you was learning and growing.
Mm-hmm.
You could have never did this interview the same 5 years ago.
No, I wasn't even doing interviews 5 years ago.
Yeah, so.
So I definitely been doing interviews since a little after COVID. I started to tap, we all reconnecting in person. So let me start tapping in with the people closest to me, doing something, whether they're doing stocks or music or rap or whatever it is, something that I feel impactful that the world and the community need to see.
For sure.
And now we interviewing Cassidy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
History, man.
History, man.
Hopefully it won't be the last time, though, man.
Oh, no, for sure. We locked in,
the vibe.
for sure.
Hopefully we can come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Open
Talk
invite the
some
conversation was, though. That's facts.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, saying stay safe.
It's wild more shit we could talk about, man.
Absolutely.
To the next time, boy.
Absolutely, my God.
Thanks for the sweatsuit, too, man.
Absolutely. Not you born. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment. We have peace and love, world. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, support the channel, show your love. You know what I'm saying? We having great conversation week in and week out. You never know who's coming. You never know what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, it's all about peace and love. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.